Hello everyone. Welcome to webinar on cosmetic regulation. Hi, I am Dr. Shivangi Singh, Program Director, Fineness Institute of Clinical Research, Delhi. Firstly, before going into the regulation part, we'll see what is cosmetics. Any substance or preparation intended to be placed in contact with the various external parts of the human body like epidermis, hair system, nails, lips, or with the teeth and the mucous membrane of the oral cavity with a view exclusively or mainly to cleaning them, perfuming them, changing their appearance and or on correcting body odors and or protecting them or keeping them in good condition. Now we look what is a colorant. Substances which are exclusively or mainly intended to color the cosmetic products, the body as a whole, or certain parts, therefore, by absorption or reflection of visible lights. In addition, precursors of oxidative hair colorant shall be deemed colorant. The demand for cosmetic is huge nowadays. If you just look at the market of cosmetics, cosmetic market has been increasing tremendously in the world and providing a way in which a person can change his or her appearance and make the product instantly noticeable and attractable. Considering normalization of cosmetics, the regulatory compliance with international guidelines is the first step towards ensuring that are safe for humans and the environment. The cosmetic industry, from manufacturers to traders, must be able to adapt to a constantly changing framework, even if there's a tendency to unite cosmetic legislations across countries. Enough differences remain and may result in lack of compliance and products recall or sanctions. We will be looking into the cosmetic regulation of US, Europe, and India in the following slides. Before going into cosmetics, we need to understand the difference between a drug and a cosmetic. A drug is intended for use in the diagnosis, cure, mitigation, treatment, or prevention of disease, while cosmetics is intended for cleaning, beautifying, promoting attractiveness, or altering the appearance. Drug has a pharmacological effect, pharmacologically inactive. Cosmetics are pharmacologically inactive. Drugs require prescription. Cosmetics prescription is not required. To be prescribed by a registered medical practitioner. Cosmetics doesn't have this requirement. You can go and buy it yourself. Require registration and import license. Cosmetic only registration is required. Pharmacovigilance is there, which means even after the drug comes into the market, it needs to be checked for its safety in the population as huge. In cosmetics, once it's come into the market, no pharmacovigilance system is in place. For drug, clinical trial is required for new drugs. For cosmetic, no such requirement. Sale license is required for drugs. Cosmetic, no requirement. And example, amoxicillin for drugs, and for example, lipstick, shampoo, etc. are for cosmetics. Another term which we'll use very frequently is OTC, over-the-counter drugs. An over-the-counter drug product is a product marketed for use by the consumer without the intervention of a healthcare professional. You don't need any prescription to buy an over-the-counter drug. How drug can be considered both a cosmetics and a drug? Over-the-counter drugs are often marketed side by side with cosmetics, and some products qualify both as a cosmetic and a OTC drug. This may happen when a product has two intended use, with ingredients intended to do two different things. For instance, a shampoo is a cosmetics, since it is intended to clean the hair. An anti-dandruff treatment is a drug because it is intended to use to treat drug. Consequently, an anti-dandruff shampoo is both a cosmetic and a drug. Among other cosmetic drug combination are toothpaste that contain fluoride, deodorants that are antiperspirant, moisturizers, and makeup marketed with sun protection claim. We'll look at the cosmetic regulations in US first. Different between requirement for a cosmetic in the United States and various other countries are the legal definition of drug and cosmetic, restriction on the use of color additives and other ingredients, and registration requirements. Some products require regulated as cosmetic in Europe, for instance, are regulated as drug in the United States. Sunscreens are a case of point. In the United States, cosmetic regulation registration is voluntary but highly recommended. Now, how can you ensure ingredient and product safety in cosmetics? Cosmetics imported into the United States, both ingredients and finished product, must meet the same criteria for safety labeling as those manufactured domestically. FDA does not pre-approve cosmetic products or ingredients with the important exception of color additives. However, cosmetics firms are responsible for marketing safe, properly labeled products using no prohibited ingredients and adhering to limited on restricted ingredients. It is the cosmetic company responsibility to substantiate products and ingredient safety prior to marketing. Cosmetic regulation. Cosmetic companies may register in the United States through FDA Voluntary Cosmetic Registration Program. The VCRP assists FDA in carrying out a responsibility to regulate cosmetics. FDA uses this information to evaluate cosmetic products on the market. Whether a product is a cosmetic or a drug under the law is determined by a product's intended use. Different laws and regulation apply to each type of products. How are approval requirement different? Under the Food and Drug Cosmetic Act, cosmetic products and ingredients, with the exception of color additives, do not require FDA approval before. Drugs, however, must generally either be pre-marketed approval of FDA through new drug application, that is NDA, process or conform to a monograph for a particular drug category as established by FDA's over-the-counter drug review. These monographs specifically condition whether the OTC drug ingredient are generally recognized as safe and effective and not misbranded. Certain OTC drugs may remain in the market without an NDA approval until a monograph for its class of drugs is finalized as a regulation. Now we'll look how the regulation in US is different from Europe. Definition, it is more extensive in Europe, and US it's narrow. Product cosmetics, OTC drug. Positive and negative list. Europe has banned 1,378 banned ingredients, while US has only 11 banned ingredients. Animal testing is completely banned in Europe, not banned in US, but alternate testing method encouraged. Nanomaterials regulated. It's not regulated in US. Governance is independent. SCCP, Independent Group of Scientists, Systemic Risk Assessment, and CIR is for United States, funded by the Industry Trade Association. No systemic assessment. Now we'll quickly look into the cosmetic regulation in Europe. The manufacturer is responsible for the safety of the product and must ensure that they undergone an expert scientific safety assessment before they are sold. A specific database with the information on cosmetic substance and ingredients called COSING enables easy access to the data on these substances, including legal requirements and restrictions. Cosmetic legislation at the Europe level also require that all product to be marketed in the Europe must be registered in the Cosmetic Product Notification Portal CPNP before being placed on the market. That some cosmetic products are given special attention from regulations due to their scientific complexity or high potential risk to the consumer health, ensures that there is a ban on animal testings for cosmetic purposes, makes European countries responsible for a market surveillance at national level. Market surveillance. Europe countries are responsible for the surveillance of their own market for cosmetics in order to ensure a coherent approach to cosmetic products issue. The Market Surveillance Authority of all European countries established the platform of European Market Surveillance Authority for Cosmetics, that is PEM SAC. The aim of this network is to facilitate cooperation by coordinating activities, exchanging information, developing and implementing joint projects, exchanging expertise and best practices in cosmetic market surveillance. There is an obligation for manufacturer to prepare an information file, then the name, address of manufacturing or the person responsible for marketing their product, date of minimum durability or period when product safe after opening, manufacturer notify confirmation on its product to each European country, example for purpose of medical treatment, general requirement in the line of legislation of unfair commercial practice. Then this is for when the drug is introduced, and afterwards clear requirement for safety, new obligation to include reasoning leading to safety assessors, name and address of person responsible for compliance, pictogram indicating the date of minimum durability, product when product is safe after opening, all nanomaterials are to be indicated in the list of ingredients, faster notification to cosmetic product notification portal, additional common criteria for claims which may be used for cosmetics, possibility for national authority to verify claims, obligation for the responsible person and the distributor to inform national authorities, obligation for European country to share information also coming from the users and the health professionals. Europe cosmetic regulations. It's a 80 billion euro industry, increasing preference for vegan, organic, natural cosmetic products. Skincare, toiletries segment has a major share in the European cosmetic market, and these are the regulation directives under which, like 76768 EEC, then regulation EC number 1223 2009, Europe Regulation 655 2013, where mode of submission is online, online notification through CPNP, notification fee is free. Cosmetic Product Notification Portal was created for the implementation of regulations on cosmetic products and aim at harmonizing the 28 European member states and 4 European Free Trade Association. Now we'll look at the registration of cosmetic regulation in India. I'm just going to share different examples of products and what they are which category they come under. Sunscreen is considered over-the-counter drug in Europe, US. Cosmetic in India and Europe. Anti-dandruff is drug and cosmetics in US, and while it is cosmetics in both Europe and India. Antibacterial skin washes is considered a drug in US and cosmetics in Europe and India. Anti-acne lotion is over-the-counter drug in US. Europe it's medicinal product, and India it can be over-the-counter drug or cosmetics. And mouthwash is drug and cosmetics, and Europe and India it is cosmetics. Toothpaste containing fluoride can be drug and cosmetics. In Europe it is cosmetics. Under the provision of Drug and Cosmetic Act 1940 and rules made under the manufacturing of cosmetics is regulated under a system of inspection and licensing by the state regulatory licensing authority. appointed by the respective state governments, while the import of cosmetic is regulated under a system of registration of Central Licensing Authority appointed by the central government. The Drug Controller General function as a central licensing authority who grants the import registration of certificate and regulate the import of a cosmetic into India under the provision of Drug and Cosmetic Act 1940. Any article falling in the definition of cosmetics is required to be registered along with packet size, variant, manufacturing premise before it is imported into the country. Improving safety standard. To launch any cosmetic in India, importer manufacturer have to seek approval with data on safety and efficacy. All cosmetics sold in India must comply with BIS labeling norms. No cosmetic may purport or claim to purport any idea which is false or misleading. No use of cosmetic for testing in cosmetics. No use of animals. In case of voluntary recall, state and central regulator have to be informed about the move as well as the action taken to prevent any risk. No cosmetics shall be imported unless used, excuse me, or used by a date is later than 6 months from the date of import. Local manufacturing is import by state licensing authority under the rule of Part 14 and Schedule M 2 of Drug and Cosmetic Act, while import is regulated by CDSCO under the rule of Part 13 of Drug and Cosmetics. Cosmetic finished product standards are classified under Schedule S of Drugs and Cosmetics Act and should comply with Bureau of Indian Standard Requirement (BIS) standards. No cosmetic shall be imported or manufactured unless it complies with the specification prescribed under the 9th schedule or any other standard of quality and safety applicable to it and other provision under this rule. An application for the issue of import registration for cosmetic intended to be imported in India shall be made online in form COS1 on SUGAM portal of CITISCO with requisite fees, documents either by manufacturer himself or by the authority agent or importer in India or the subsidiaries in India authorized by the manufacturer to Central Licensing Authority under Cosmetic Rule 2020, Drug Controller General, CITISCO headquarters. Now we'll just look at the frequently asked questions on how SUGAM online submission happens in India. Which is the regulatory authority that governs the regulation of import cosmetics in India? India, it is the Drug Controller General of India, DCGI, CIDISCO. Its office is in FDA Bhavan, ITO, Kotla Road, New Delhi. What is import registration certificate? Import registration certificate means a certificate under the Rule 13 of the new Cosmetic Rule 2020 by the Central Licensing Authority for registration of cosmetics. Which division of CIDISCO is responsible for registration of cosmetics? CIDISCO has a cosmetic division. Who can import cosmetics into India? The manufacturer himself, the authorized agent, or the manufacturer and authorized subsidiary of the manufacturer in India, or any other importer in India. What are the requirements for import of cosmetics in India? The cosmetic products and manufacturing site are to be registered with CIDISCO by submitting form COS1 to obtain registration certificate in form COS2. COS1 is an application for grant of registration certificate for import of cosmetics in India. And what procedure for import or manufacture of new cosmetics in India? An application and import or manufacture under Chapter 3 and under Chapter 4 respectively of the Cosmetic Rule 2020 shall be made to the Central Licensing Authority or the State Licensing Authority as their case may be, along with the prior permission obtained in Cost 3 form of the Central Licensing Authority. We have discussed the Cost 1 and now we'll look at the Cost 2, which is an import registration certificate to be issued for import of cosmetic into India under the Cosmetic Rule 2020. Who issues manufacturing license? Manufacturing license for cosmetics are issued by respective state licensing authority appointed by state government. Whether cosmetics with any drug claim or label literature can be considered for registration as a cosmetic? No. Cosmetic drugs defined separately under Section 3 of Drug and Cosmetic Act. Products having drug claim do not come under the definition of cosmetics. Further, no cosmetics may purport or claim the purport or convey any idea which is false or misleading to the intended users. Whether cosmetic tested in animals of country of origin are allowed for import in India? No. Cosmetic that are tested on animals are not allowed for import in India. Which standard to comply for cosmetic products? No cosmetic shall be imported until it complies with the standard prescribed under the 9th schedule of the Cosmetic Rule 2020 or any other standard of quality safety applicable to it and other provision under the rule. In case the cosmetic is not included in the 9th schedule, it should meet the specification under the rules and standard applicable to its country of origin. List of documents, what needs to be submitted for the registration certificate for import of cosmetics in India, covering letter, authorization, part 1 of second schedule D, list of ingredients, label of proposed products, specification and testing methods, packet inserts, manufacturing licenses, pre-sale certificate, non-animal testing declaration, declaration for heavy metals and hexachlorophene content, other documents, application in form of COS 1, and original Bharat Coach e-receipt of paid fees. Thank you. That ends the presentation for today. For any diploma course or webinar related queries, we conduct webinars and seminars and many for pharmacovigilance, clinical research and clinical data management for many institutes, colleges and hospitals. You can always visit our website and contact us by email. Please do like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel.